A pair of travelers are on the road, returning from a raid of a bandit camp. They show minor injuries and carrying loot from the raid. "You know what? I could go for some meat right now. What about you?" one of the travelers asks. "Me too, although I am a little tired right now and the city of Whiterun is still some distance away. I think we should get some rest." After about a few minutes of walking, the adventurers rest, eating on rations before making their way back to the city of Whiterun. One of the travelers is a Nord who is donning Whiterun Guard's armor, and his friend, a Khajiit, wearing Thieves Guild armor. Both have been friends for a very long time and often go on adventures together when they're not working, but they mostly stick to the confines of their work. "You know, it's not often that we get to see each other and go on bandit raids, with both of us living very different lives. I hope we go on another adventure soon after we return." "Do you still have aspirations of being a great warrior?" the Khajiit asks. "Of course, I dream of it every night. My wife surely gets tired of it. I find that being a guard is a good way to go on these opportunities while earning a decent income and protecting the citizens of Skyrim." "Bandit raids can only get you so far. Eventually, you'll have to take on bigger foes. Probably dragons at one point." The Nord begins to show a little bit of worry at this response. That is true, but I don't know if I'm ready to take that next step. I just like adventuring." As the Khajiit is about to respond, a loud roar can be heard from a distance. You may want to hold on to those words. An adventure might be coming our way sooner than you think." From a distance in the south, a large flying creature makes its way in their direction, seemingly making eye contact with both adventurers until it comes close. "You two look like strong warriors. Come, battle with me. I need a warm-up before I fight the Dovahkiin." You know what? This one is a bit tired and not in a good shape to fight." "Yol!" Before the pair gets a chance to arm themselves, the dragon unleashes its fire breath attack and the two narrowly dodge out of the way. They arm themselves. The Nord arms himself with his battle axe and the Khajiit draws his bow. The battle starts out even, with the Khajiit landing some hits on the dragon while the Nord slashes every time the dragon lands. While the dragon is starting to show some wounds, the fatigue is starting to set in on the adventurers, considering they did not get a chance to rest after raiding the camp. Eventually, they grow tired from the battle and can barely move. "You are no match for the might of a Dova. What a waste of my time. It's time to finish you both." As the dragon prepares its final attack, an arrow flies, striking its body and catching it off guard. The dragon looks to the direction of the arrow and makes a face of shock. "It's you. You are lucky he is here to save the day. I will return." The dragon flies away and the adventurers are approached by a warrior wearing full ebony armor. "Who are you?" the Khajiit asks. "That's not a concern at the moment," says the mystery warrior. "We need to get you to safety. The dragon will inevitably return, and if you return to Whiterun, it may attack the city, so you cannot return until you've defeated it. Come, I have a camp nearby." The two, now joined by this mysterious warrior, set a camp in the woods for the evening, where the warrior provides them with potions and food to heal their wounds. "I was making camp here for my adventures until I saw the dragon fly above the forest. It looks like you've caught its attention. It will likely be looking for you again." "That dragon looked like it knew you, and it ran away when you appeared." "Yes, it did. I am familiar with that dragon. We have fought once before. I came across him during my travels. We fought until he was called by his master Alduin to another matter before we could finish. Now with Alduin dead, it appears that the dragon is now looking for me again. Perhaps you can take him on." "This one would like the challenge, although my friend here is a little wary of taking on dragons." The warrior, looking at the Nord, immediately understands the scenario. "A Whiterun guard, huh? I see. Well, I can see why you are not as eager to fight dragons. The life of a guard can be rather mundane. Your adventures are mostly limited to where your Jarl needs you. Most of the time, you patrol streets and eat sweet rolls. You are also a Nord. You are one of the most hardy folk in all of Tamriel. You have a desire for adventure and to tell great tales. This can be your first one if you like. Perhaps a little motivation is needed." There was a time where dragons like him ruled the lands of Skyrim. The dragons, with their leader Alduin, were once rulers to the race of men here. They would subject us to cruel torture and labor, and we were powerless to do anything against them. It is very difficult to fight a race that has control of the skies and are much bigger and stronger than us, let alone being great in numbers back then and having the support of dragon priests, which are pretty much human followers of the dragons and would help with their torturous methods. One day, the race of the Nords rebelled and the dragon war was sparked. In the beginning, the dragons did not have much trouble driving them back. The leaders of the rebellion, Gormlaith Holdenhild, Feldir the Old, and Hakon One-Eye, were Nords, much like yourself, but were not afraid of the ferocity of dragons. In fact, Gormlaith herself slew 4 dragons in one day during the war. They were able to keep the rebellion going and in the fight for its entirety. In fact, this act of bravery even caused Alduin's own brother and lieutenant, Parthenax, to switch sides. It was in fact Parthenax who taught the heroes how to use the dragon shout, which they eventually studied and used themselves in order to create a brand new shout. This battle would climax on top of the throat of the world, where the leader of the dragons, Alduin, faced the 3 heroes in combat. The new shout the heroes used removed Alduin's biggest advantage, the skies. The shout forced him to the ground at times, giving the heroes the opportunity to strike. Unfortunately, Alduin proved to be too powerful and was able to slowly cut through the heroes. In fact, Gormlaith Goldenhild met her demise at the peak, and Hakon going next. As a desperate measure, Feldir had no choice but to use an Elder Scroll in order to banish Alduin. You can see that it didn't kill him, since Alduin lived to this day. While the heroes were revered in their time for defeating the dragons after banishing Alduin, he was simply banished forward in time. He reappeared in the 4th era, where he attempted to resume the work he left behind during the Merethic era. Fortunately, the legendary heroes had a hand in defeating Alduin for good, for in the lands of Sovngarde, the Dragonborn was able to venture there and with the help of the 3 heroes was able to finally defeat Alduin once and for all. Of course, there are still dragons that roam around Skyrim, but not as strong or as organized as they once were. You mentioned they defeated Alduin at Sovngarde with the Dragonborn. How could you know this? Only the Dragonborn or the deceased can enter the lands of Sovngarde. Once again, a loud roar interrupts them from a distance. Prepared for battle this time, the 3 set out on the fields to confront the dragon in combat. I will finish the both of you here, and your new friend. I can take care of many problems in the next few minutes. This time, the battle goes differently, with the duo gaining new confidence after the help from the mysterious warrior. The dragon begins the battle by flying over the skies. While the Nord cannot do anything, the Khajiit shoots from his bow, striking a few times to the draconic foe. The mysterious warrior then faces the dragon and shouts, Jur, Zal, Frul! The dragon is suddenly halted with the stream of energy surrounding it, forcing it to land. What is this shout? The dragon wails. The warrior isn't done shouting here. Hun, Tal, Zur! Suddenly, 3 humanoid specters appear. They wear the same armor and weapons as the heroes of old. Our ancient foe. Are you ready to do battle again, gentlemen? You know it. Let's bash some skulls. With the help of their new allies, the adventurers were able to easily defeat the dragon, with the warrior jumping on top of its head and stabbing his sword through the skull. Soon after the victory, the dragon's essence is seemingly absorbed by the warrior, much to the adventurer's shock. You must be. It was an honor to fight alongside 2 strong warriors, one of the specters say. For you to witness and fight alongside such a courageous and strong warrior, Alduin Slayer, is a blessing. I hope you continue on your journeys and achieve great things in your lives. Become heroes of Skyrim, for they will always be in need of a few. And with that, the specters disappear. The mysterious warrior and the duo part ways, and the latter make their way back to Whiterun, ready and excited for their next adventure. And that's it for today's lore video. I hope you guys enjoyed the way I am telling these stories. This is talking about the 3 ancient heroes of Skyrim. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave it a like and comment on what other topics you guys would like to see. Of course, consider subscribing to the channel if you guys want to see more Elder Scrolls content. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and I'll see you all in the next lore video.